A ship is found adrift in the vast South Pacific. It's listing heavily, half submerged, and eerily silent. Rescuers climb aboard, their boots echoing on the empty deck. They check every cabin, every corner. But there's no one. 25 people, passengers and crew, have vanished into thin air. Where did they go? What they found instead will make your skin crawl. This is the story of the MV Joyita, a ghost ship that has puzzled experts for decades. And the clues left behind only deepen the mystery. It all began on October 3, 1955. The Joyita, a sturdy charter vessel, left Samoa for the Tokelau Islands, a journey of about 270 miles that should have taken 2 days. On board were 16 crew members and 9 passengers, including a government official, 2 children, and a surgeon on his way to perform an amputation. The captain, Thomas "Dusty" Miller, was a seasoned British sailor who knew these waters like the back of his hand. The weather was fair, the ship was sound. It should have been a routine trip, but the Joyita never arrived. When it failed to reach its destination, a massive search and rescue operation was launched. For 5 weeks, the Royal New Zealand Air Force scoured over 100,000 square miles of ocean. They found nothing. No wreckage, no life rafts, no sign of the 25 souls on board. It was as if the Joyita had sailed off the edge of the world. The search was called off. The ship and everyone on it were declared lost at sea. Then, on November 10th, more than a month after it disappeared, a merchant ship spotted something strange. It was the Joyita, drifting aimlessly over 600 miles west of its planned route. The ship was in a terrible state. It was waterlogged, listing so far to one side that its deck was almost touching the waves. The radio was tuned to the Universal Marine Distress Channel, but there was no one there to send or receive a message. The logbook was gone. The ship's chronometer, its sextant, and all the firearms Captain Miller kept in his locker were also missing. But the most unsettling discovery was yet to come. Investigators boarded the battered vessel, trying to piece together what happened. They found the ship's fuel tanks were only half empty. The Joyita still had enough fuel to travel another 240 miles, so it didn't run out of gas. The engines seemed to have a problem with one clutch, but one engine was still perfectly functional. The ship could still move. So why was it abandoned? The state of the ship was bizarre. For tons of cargo, including medical supplies, timber, and empty oil drums, were gone. The life rafts were also missing. This suggested the crew and passengers had deliberately abandoned the ship. But why? The Joyita, despite its damage, was designed to be virtually unsinkable. Its hull was lined with cork, making it incredibly buoyant. It could be flooded and battered, but it would not sink. Captain Miller knew this. He would have known that staying on the ship was far safer than taking to the open ocean in small life rafts. So what could have terrified them so much that they made the desperate choice to leave? The clues left on board only deepened the sense of dread. There was food still laid out in the galley. On the deck, a doctor's bag was found, open. Inside were a stethoscope and scalpels, and several bloody bandages. This suggested someone had been injured, but there were no other signs of struggle, no signs of a fight, or any kind of violence. Just those bloody bandages, a silent testament to some unknown event. The ship itself was a puzzle. One of its pipes in the engine room had corroded, allowing a slow leak. This likely caused the initial flooding, but the pumps weren't working. When investigators checked them, they found the intake valves were clogged with a mattress. It seemed someone had deliberately sabotaged the pumps, preventing the crew from clearing the water. Who would do this and why? Was it a member of the crew or someone else? As the story of the ghost ship spread, theories began to fly. The simplest explanation was that Captain Miller, seeing the ship flooding and the pumps failing, had panicked. He ordered everyone into the life rafts, believing the ship was about to sink. They were then lost at sea, victims of storms or starvation. But this didn't fit with Miller's reputation as a calm and experienced captain. And it didn't explain the missing cargo, the missing logbook, or the sabotage. Another theory pointed to a more sinister cause. Some believed the Joyita was attacked. Pirates were a possibility, though rare in those waters. Or perhaps it was a mutiny. The crew was a mix of different nationalities, and tensions might have boiled over. A fight could have broken out, leading to injuries, which would explain the bloody bandages. The winning faction might have taken the cargo, killed everyone else, and fled, sabotaging the ship to cover their tracks. But again, there was no physical evidence of a mutiny or a violent struggle. Then, a darker theory emerged, one that involved the political climate of the time. Some speculated the Joyita stumbled upon a secret Japanese fishing fleet or even a Soviet submarine operating illegally in the area. To eliminate witnesses, the foreign vessel might have captured everyone on board, taking the logbook and navigation equipment as evidence. The 25 passengers and crew of the Joyita could have been taken prisoner and spirited away, never to be seen again. This would explain why everything and everyone simply vanished. But the most popular and perhaps most chilling theory centers on Captain Miller himself. Dusty Miller was a man with a past. He was in debt. Some claimed he was involved in smuggling, or that he had staged the whole thing as part of an elaborate insurance fraud. The idea was that he planned to scuttle the ship, report it as lost, and collect the insurance money. But something went terribly wrong. Perhaps the mutiny theory was connected to this. Maybe his first mate, an American named Chuck Simpson, discovered his plan. A fight could have broken out. In the chaos, Miller might have been injured, explaining the bloody bandages. Simpson and the others, now implicated in the mess, might have panicked, abandoned the ship, and met their fate in the open ocean. Let's look at the timeline again. The ship left on October 3rd. It was found on November 10th. For over a month, it drifted. Its journey was tracked backward by experts. They calculated that whatever happened on the second night of the voyage. The ship's lights were on when it was found. The clocks on board had all stopped at 10:25. This suggests a sudden and dramatic event occurred at that exact time. The ship was plunged into darkness, the engines cut out, and the chaos began. The flooding started from the broken pipe. With the pumps sabotaged by the mattress, the water level rose quickly in the engine room. The ship began to list. In the darkness, with the vessel tilting dangerously, panic would have set in. Captain Miller, perhaps already injured from a fight, would have lost control of the situation. People saw the water rising and believed the ship was sinking. They would have clamored for the life rafts. They took the cargo, maybe hoping to use the empty oil drums for extra flotation. Then, under a dark Pacific sky, 25 people climbed into flimsy rafts and pushed off from the Joyita, leaving the unsinkable ship behind. They would have been incredibly vulnerable. The Tokelau Islands were hundreds of miles away. They had little food and water. The currents and winds of the South Pacific are notoriously unpredictable. A storm could have capsized their rafts in minutes, or they could have simply drifted for weeks, slowly succumbing to exposure and dehydration. Their bodies were never found, but in the vastness of the ocean, that's not surprising. The sea keeps its secrets. So what really happened on the MV Joyita? Was it a simple accident compounded by panic? A mutiny driven by greed? An encounter with a hostile foreign power? Or a desperate insurance scam gone horribly wrong? Each theory leaves unanswered questions. The bloody bandages, the missing logbook, the sabotaged pumps. These clues paint a picture of chaos and terror, but the full story remains just out of reach. The Joyita was eventually repaired and served for many more years, but it was forever known as a ghost ship. Its name, which ironically means jewel or joy, became a synonym for one of the greatest maritime mysteries of all time. The fate of the 25 people who were on board remains unknown. Their families never got closure. They simply vanished, leaving behind an empty ship and a story that continues to haunt us. The ocean is vast and unforgiving, And the tale of the Joyita is a chilling reminder of the mysteries that lie beneath its surface. What do you think happened? A mutiny, pirates, or something else entirely? Let me know your theory in the comments below. And if you found this story as fascinating as I did, please hit that like button, share this video with a friend who loves a good mystery, and make sure you subscribe for more stories of the unexplained. Thanks for watching.